Good morning. It is Friday, June 27th. Here's what we're working on. A Canadian citizen and U.S. permanent resident has died in custody of ICE enforcement in Florida.
The orange plume of smoke seen over Hamilton a couple of days ago was tied to a steel plant malfunction.
And the Hamilton Tiger Cats getting set to take on the Alouettes tonight at Hamilton Stadium. And that means this guy is going to be doing double duty today, working here this morning and doing Ticats audio play-by-play tonight.
Yes, and hopefully calling a victory. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
This city needs a win.
Yes.
Yeah, let's hope for that. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice night for football as well. So, yeah, thumbs up on that one as well. So, hopefully they'll work together and we'll have a good outcome. Yeah. We're looking at Friday, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And our last June weekend coming up, because, of course, we get into July next week, Canada Day coming up on Tuesday. Today, starting off the morning here, it's fairly cloudy and it's fairly misty as well. The humidity is 100% relative humidity right now. Our temperature at the moment is sitting at 16 degrees. Yesterday, we only climbed to 19. That's all we got. We had that northeast wind that's quite cool wind this time of year. So that kept us subdued. But today, different story today. Sun cloud mix, 29 today with a humidex of 39. So it's going to get steamy today. And then we could get some showers, thunderstorms overnight tonight. But yeah, pretty nice day today. All right, talk about it coming up. Looking at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road as usual. We start with our camera, nothing to see there, doing fine. To some MTO traffic cameras, Centennial Parkway, as you head toward the Skyway in the distance, so Toronto bound away from us on that shot, doing fine. Here's the top of the Burlington Skyway, light volume, Brodie Road, Burlington to Oakville, nothing to see there. So pretty good so far. We will keep you posted, weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Well, Global Affairs Canada says consular officials urgently want more information about the death of a Canadian while in ICE custody in Miami. Johnny Neviello was awaiting deportation when he was pronounced dead at a U.S. federal detention center in Florida. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, says it arrested Noviella in May at a Florida probation office. He had been sentenced to a year in jail in a conviction for racketeering and trafficking opioids. The 49-year-old had been in the United States since 1988 and actually was a legal permanent resident there since 1991.
ArcelorMittal Dofasco says an orange cloud that was seen over the facility on Tuesday poses no danger to the public. A spokesperson for the Ontario government says it is believed the cloud was caused by a valve failure, which the company says caused excessive oxidation during the steelmaking process. The cloud was in the air for approximately 10 minutes. The ministry has not received any complaints regarding the incident. For its part, ArcelorMittal Dofasco says it received one community complaint about fallout. Ontario's Ministry of the Environment is assessing any potential fallout in the area of the complaint. An inspection will also be conducted to assess any compliance issues.
Picketers representing workers from the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, WSIB, were on the picket line again in downtown Hamilton. Main issue in this dispute is wages, regards to wages and workload. And the gap between the parties is still significant.
Our members here feel like they're overwhelmed, drowning in work, and being asked for a lot of unrealistic expectations in the amount that they can do, and then the amount of empathy that they can have for other people. One of the biggest things is that they're not able to put in as much to their work for each individual person as they feel like they should be able to. And it's completely separate from any amount of money that we're asking for. Our biggest thing is people are overwhelmed.
Workers from WSIB were picketing as well at various cities across Ontario. Strike action started on May 22nd.
Hamilton police are asking for the public's help after a random assault near Paramount Park near the Link and Red Hill Valley Parkway. Happened yesterday in the early morning hours. The victim was alone when they were attacked by an unknown suspect. Investigators say the assault appears unprovoked and random. They're asking anyone in the area between 11 p.m. Wednesday and 1 a.m. Thursday to check their security or dash cam footage for anything suspicious.
Hamilton Police Crimes Against Seniors Unit has charged 2 men in a case involving an unnamed long-term care home. 44-year-old Romeo Grospa of Hamilton, who worked as a personal support worker, and 32-year-old Jarek David, a nurse, face multiple charges over $5,000 and possession of property obtained by crime. It's alleged that multiple checks were deposited from 2 residents into personal accounts. Police are not releasing the name of the long-term care facility. A Halton police dog is recovering after being accidentally shot in the paw during a robbery investigation in Burlington. Police were looking into a robbery in the area of Burloak Drive and Harvester Road yesterday afternoon. While there, the dog's paw, they say, made contact with a gun, which discharged, resulting in the injury. The dog is receiving medical attention, expected to make a full recovery. 2 people were arrested in connection with the robbery. Police haven't released further details so far. A fire that happened in one of the classrooms at a public school in Brantford at Russell Reid Public on Tuesday has forced the closure of the school for the rest of the school year, what was left of it. The Grand Erie School Board shared a letter with parents after the fire. The school was closed for students and staff for the rest of this week. In the letter, the school board says it understands that students may have things that are still in the building, and it says that all items are secure and that the building remains locked. The board's going to communicate details about picking up those items very soon. Ontario's Ministry of Health says there's been a drop in overall measles cases. New data shows there are 33 new infections. That's compared to 96 new cases that were reported a couple of weeks ago. The province has now recorded 2,021 cases since the outbreak began in October of last year. Health officials are focusing on preventing the highly contagious disease from hitting summer camps. The Ontario Health Minister says the province's top doctor has had a fulsome meeting with the Ontario Camps Association in the middle of May to go over procedures and protocols in case there is an outbreak.
Sportsline, week 4 of the CFL season kicked off with a bang last night in Winnipeg.
Color coordination, that seems weird. Empty backfield for Zach. Down the field, Dembski. Oh, Dembski's ridiculous. He hauls it in, and he takes it home. Touchdown, Winnipeg. Spectacular stuff.
The Blue Bombers jumped out to a 23-13 lead over the visiting Elks at halftime thanks to 3 touchdown passes from Zach Collaros, including 2 to Nick Dembski. Trey Ford hooked up with Keon Julian Grant on a 68-yard TD early in the 3rd quarter. Vincent Blanchard booted his 3rd field goal of the game to tie it 23-all heading into the 4th frame. But Winnipeg answered back.
Now he takes it. Edmonton does bring a blitz. Clares trying to get it away. Scrambles. And now he's going to take it on his own. Clares to the end zone. He's got it. How about that from Zach?
Collaros ran for a 14-yard score as the Bombers scored 13 unanswered points and beat Edmonton 36-23. Winnipeg now 3-0. The Elks fell to 0-3. The Ticats will try to break their goose egg in the win column tonight when they host the Alouettes. Rookie linebacker Devin Varasek is set to make his first CFL start.
I'm excited, a little bit of nervous excitement, but I've been training for my whole life for this moment, playing ball for 10 years. I feel like I prepared myself enough through training camp, through preseason, and getting my feet wet throughout the season, getting some reps in there, and really throughout this week. So I think I'm ready to go.
With running back Greg Bell injured, 0-2 Hamilton will go with rookie Trayshawn Ward and veteran Canadian Johnny Augustine in the backfield. And with quarterback Davis Alexander nursing a bad hamstring, McLeod Bethel Thompson will make his first start for the 3-0 Alouettes. Hamilton Cardinals edged the Welland Jackfish 3-2 for their first win of the CHCH QEW Cup Series. Hamilton still trails the series 2-1 and will host the Jackfish tonight at 7:35. Kevin Gosman allowed just 2 hits over 8 innings, and Alejandro Kirk and Nathan Lucas drove in 2 runs each to give the Blue Jays a 6-0 win in Cleveland. Now, tempers flared in the 3rd inning after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was forced to leave the game after he was hit by a pitch. X-rays came back negative. The team says Guerrero suffered a forearm contusion. The Bluebirds open a weekend series tonight in Boston. The Raptors selected another defensive-minded player in last night's second round of the NBA draft.
With the 39th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Elijah Martin from the University of Florida.
No, he did not drop any F-bombs. As far as we know, Martin is a fifth-year senior who helped Florida win the NCAA championship this spring. Hamilton's Matthew Schaefer is projected to be the #1 pick in tonight's NHL draft. The Islanders expected to take the 17-year-old Erie Otters defenseman, who could become the first OHL player since Connor McDavid in 2015 to go first overall. Mustangs Restaurant in Stony Creek hosting a draft watch party tonight with his friends, teachers, and Stony Creek Warriors board members and families. The NHL and its Players Association will hold a news conference this afternoon for what insiders expect will be to announce a 4-year extension of the collective bargaining agreement. The new CBA will include adding 2 more games to the regular season starting in 2026-27, shortening the maximum length of contracts from 8 years to 7, and adding a playoff salary cap. NFL has suspended former Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker for the first 10 weeks next season for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The 35-year-old is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by massage therapists. Suspended Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco was convicted of sexually abusing a 14-year-old girl and handed a 2-year suspended sentence. Barry Bonds is getting a statue outside the San Francisco Giants home stadium where he set baseball's career home run record. And the NCAA is considering a proposal to allow athletes and staff to bet on pro sports while maintaining strict bans on college sports betting.
Oh, did somebody say Friday? Oh, yes. 27th of June. It's fairly cloudy, and actually right now we have some light drizzle in the area, so I'll talk about the forecast coming up. All right, 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, looking at the 403 and Waterdown Road. Traffic, first of all, we have no problems on the roads right now, so all around the Hamilton area we're doing fine. If we check into St. Catharines, go to our MTO traffic cameras, yay, we have some Niagara cams back today. QEW Glendale, light volume, and that's pretty much the way it is all the way around the Horseshoe Centennial Parkway. A little busier here north of 2 toward Brant. East of Royal Windsor looks good. Same the 427 Gardner QEW combination. Temperature. Let's get into this Friday morning here. Temp right now sitting at 16 degrees. The winds are fairly strong this morning, and they're still from the north-northeast, 23 gusting to 33. There's that relative humidity right up there at 100%. And yeah, we do have a little light drizzle at the moment. So air quality risk for the day today still in the low risk category, so no problems there. I know we've been talking about the last day of school. Simone was covering that yesterday. But there are still some classes going in, still some people who don't want school to end, so they just want to go back and they want to have another day. So if you do, fine. 29 degrees for the day today, humidex of 39, and that wind is going to shift around to the south, but be careful in the sun. Very high UV index. We have an approaching warm front, and that's what's going to pull in some warmer air for the day today, and you'll notice it a big difference from yesterday. So warm front, cold front scenario. So we could get some instability late today. That would be into the evening hours. We could get a shower or a thunderstorm, and then continuing in an early morning shower for tomorrow. So today, look at the temperature difference. 19 yesterday, 29 today for Hamilton, humidex of 39, temperatures anywhere from 26 to 28 to 29 degrees today. Tonight stays warm, 20, 21 degrees. We will see some instability pushing in later in the evening, maybe a shower, thunderstorm even overnight tonight into the early morning tomorrow, and that shower here will be in the early morning hours. So then we're going to get a mix of sun and clouds. Pretty nice day tomorrow, a little bit cooler, 24 to 27 degrees for tomorrow. So stepping out the door, 27th of June. It is overcast. We do have some light drizzle. Temperature right now sitting at 16. Long range coming up. Annette, right.
Okay, right after the break, we're going to check in with Emily to see what she has coming up in Chit Chat. And in business news, Chorus Entertainment cuts more staff because ad revenue continues to slide. 6:16 on your Friday morning. Time to say good morning to Emily. What's coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning. Channing Tatum and Kristen Dunst play unlikely lovers in a brand new movie that's based on a true story, and it involves a fugitive.
It's a fascinating story. I did a deep dive on the true story yesterday.
Me too.
It involves a Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite comedian. Okay, who wrote this? Who wrote this? He is not. He is my least favorite comedian. I can hear the control room laughing in my ear.
They changed it on you.
Adam Sandler is bringing his comedy tour to Canada.
Nice.
And don't worry, Simpsons fans. You can rest easy. Marge Simpson is not dead. Whew. I know. People are losing their minds. And this is like an old story, but I feel like we need to talk about it because people need to know.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's
All
it.
right. Thanks very much. Well, in business news, in overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is up slightly to 73.3 cents U.S. Gold is down $45.90 an ounce. Crude oil up 52 cents to $65.81 U.S. a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are up across the board. London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets soared in Tokyo, but Hong Kong and Shanghai saw some losses. And in North American markets, the TSX gained 185 points, the Dow went up over 400, and the Nasdaq gained 194 points.
Chorus Entertainment has slashed 7% of its employee costs in its most recent quarter, and the company says it's not done with the cuts yet. Chorus says the most recent job losses were part of a plan for an overall 9% reduction in the third quarter. That translated to about $10 million in cost savings. Chorus also warns that TV advertising could drop about 20%. The reason given is that some advertisers are moving their money to other platforms. Overall, Chorus lost $7.3 million in its most recent quarter.
BC billionaire Ruby Liu has taken possession of a former Hudson's Bay store in Tsawwassen Mills Mall. It's the first of more than 24 locations she's eyeing across Canada. Liu plans to turn the former Saks Off Fifth site into a retail, cultural, and tourist destination. It's one of 3 HBC leases she acquired for $6 million under court-approved creditor protection, including sites in Victoria and Nanaimo. She's also seeking 25 more leases, but landlords say they're concerned by a lack of clear plans. Liu says she's budgeting $84 million to revamp the stores and may brand them under her own name.
And I think that's what they're afraid of. Well, the Canada Infrastructure Bank is loaning BC Ferries $1 billion to help build 4 ferries, all made in China. That's not sitting well with Federal Transport Minister Chrystia Freeland, who recently called the purchase dismaying because of current tensions and what she calls unjustified Chinese tariffs on Canada. In a letter earlier this month, Freeland urged BC to ensure that no federal funding will go towards the deal. The CEO of BC Ferries says he can't reveal the full cost of the contract, but says the federal loan will make a major impact.
BMO says it's moving to a 4-day in-office work week starting this fall, joining other major Canadian banks pushing for more on-site work. Spokesman John Fenton says the shift will take effect by mid-September, where space allows, and reflects BMO's investment in workplaces designed to boost collaboration, mentorship, and innovation. Scotiabank and RBC are making similar moves this September. Scotiabank says it expects the change to strengthen engagement and culture, while RBC calls in-person work critical for a relationship-driven business. CIBC and National Bank say their office policies vary by team and role.
Okay, our team is going to take a break right now, and Brian will be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Let's get going into this Friday morning, 6:20, almost 6:24 here, 27th of June. Looks pretty good here. I mean, there's not a lot of sunshine around. QEW at Martindale, there's no traffic to talk about. Top of the Burlington Skyway is still moving nicely. Same with Bronte Road. Looks good here at Sheraton as you come around past the Ford plant, trying to get to Mississauga Road, where all the construction begins. And then we'll flip into the 403 at Glen Erin. Now we have a vehicle right there. That's Niagara bound coming towards us. Looks like a maintenance vehicle just off to the left shoulder, as you can see there. There's no volume at all to talk about impede. There, it's starting to move away now. All right, let's get to temperatures that we have to start the morning. 16 degrees for Hamilton at the moment. That's around seasonal for this time of year. 17 Mississauga, Toronto, 18 into Grimsby. So what we're looking at today for sun times is 5:41. It's been up for a while. At 9:04 it goes down. 25 and 14 are our seasonals, and those are our records for today. And yeah, we're going to have sun for the day today. Pretty much the last day of school for those people who want to go for one more day. So we'll use this one more time, and that's about it. Monday we won't be using this again. So 19 for the first bell, 29 for after school with a humidex of 39. So it's going to be a lot warmer today. Oh, I wanted to show this shot. Dave sent this shot into me, a lovely shot of Niagara Falls. You can see a little bit of a rainbow across the water there. Lovely shot. Thank you, Dave. So I'll use that here. So we've talked about today, 29, tonight down to 20. Now, there is a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm pushing into the evening hours. Looks like it'll be the late evening. And then tomorrow, chance of a shower lingering, and that'll be in the morning. Then we'll get back to some sunshine in 26. 28 and sunny on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, slim chance of showers, particularly Tuesday for Canada Day and all the celebrations going on. It's the Linden Canada Day Parade. Yes, on Tuesday. Looking forward to that. Wednesday, 27, Thursday, 27 and sun. That's your forecast.
Are you the Grand Marshal again?
Yes. I am the Grand Marshal, and I'm looking forward to it again this year.
Okay. I should tell Rick that there is no dealing with Brian on camera because he becomes the Grand Poobah of Linden.
Oh, I like that. Poobah, yes.
Okay, we look forward to that. Okay, ever had a run-in with the blue screen of death while working at your computer?
Absolutely. Well, after more than 40 years of being set against a very recognizable blue, the updated error message will soon be displayed across a black background. Microsoft announced the color change yesterday. In a blog post, the company said the updated user interface improves readability and aligns better with Windows 11 design principles. Microsoft said this change is part of a broader effort to reduce user disruption when an unexpected restart is needed. The new black screen launches later this summer. So this is going to be the black screen.
I had a blue screen of death earlier this week. Of course, just before a meeting.
It's the worst.
It's the only time that happens.
Throw your hands up because you can't do anything.
Yeah. Okay, stay with us. We've got lots more to come right after the break.
Heartache on heartache.